hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. It's coming. Listen to this, 67 days. Wow. We're going to win Pennsylvania. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris. Political movement in the history of our country. You know, make America great again. MAGA! MAGA! That's a lot of people. Some I like, about 7% and some I don't. No, that's a lot, but you know, when I say the greatest political movement in the history of our country, if I say something even slightly wrong, they give me 12 Pinocchios, right? 12. We can't say anything even a little bit wrong. I can't even joke. When I used to show Biden couldn't find the stairs off the stairway, they would say, Trump couldn't find it. They'd say, they took it, and they would say, I couldn't. When different things, the worst thing you can do with them is sarcasm, because it doesn't work with the fake news. So we won't have any fun, but we will have fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. But now it's amazing what we built all together and started 8 years ago, maybe a little before that, who knows? Probably started 40 years ago in our soul, but it started 8 years ago, and nobody would have thought anything like this could have happened. And it represents a tremendous piece of the Republican Party, and more importantly, it represents a tremendous piece of this country, tremendous piece, a lot more than 50%. Therefore, we have to get out and vote. This past week, I was honored to receive 2 endorsements from former Democrats for President Tulsi Gabbard. Felt very strongly about the endorsement, and I feel very happy to get it. Every day we are welcoming more Republicans, independents, traditional Democrats, and old-fashioned liberals. You know, they don't use that term anymore. They use progressive. We don't use that term. We like liberal better. Progressive sounds so good. It sounds progressive. They're not progressive. They're the opposite. Together we're fighting to secure our borders, end the endless foreign wars, and defend the working people of America. And coming in, I heard some of the most beautiful speeches. I heard just beautiful, beautiful speeches. I want to thank all of the speakers that preceded me. Beautiful. We're joining forces to defeat government corruption, restore free speech, and make America healthy again. We're going to make America healthy again. It's not doing well in a lot of ways, and we're not doing so well with health, but we're going to solve a lot of those problems, I think, over the next short period of time. A lot of that's common sense. We've all common sense that we get right down to it. But we're going to get toxic chemicals out of our environment, and we're going to get them out of our food supply. We will enact this pro-family agenda. We will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. They never talk about the American dream. They never mention it. They don't talk about the American flag. By the way, the American flag, we got some of the greatest congressmen warriors here that you have anywhere. And congressmen very soon, we should give a 1-year sentence in jail to anybody that burns the American. Sounds worse, so I use it. But at the Democrat National Convention, I watch those American flags burning all over the place. I think it's a disgrace. And they said it's not constitutional to stop it, like hell it is. It's like when I stopped the riots in Washington, they were taking down statues, they were having a lot of fun. They didn't know what they were doing, having a lot of fun. And I pulled out an old law from 1907, because we don't pass laws like that are tough. And it said if you touch a monument, if you touch it, you can touch it against the will of authority. If you take it down, and if you even touch it, you go to jail for 10 years. And then dusty. We were all old and dusty. Hadn't been used in 78 years, I think they said. And I signed it, I announced it. And I watched about 10,000 pastors. I could watch from the back as they left town. They were all done. I knew there was a problem when they started ripping down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, they should take down the statue of Lincoln. I don't think that's how we're not going to let that happen. And we've got to be tough, because if you see what's happening in Aurora, Colorado today, can you see it? Where Venezuelan gang members have taken over parts of the city. They've taken over apartment houses, because these stupid people that we have leading our country are allowing these people, these criminals, to come into our country. And we're going to get them the hell out of here. And this is just the beginning. The size of these crowds, you can fill this place up 3 times. Why didn't you get a larger arena? Somebody said to us, we were riding by, oh, it's too bad the arena hasn't started filling up. I said, no, you don't understand. It's totally full, but the line goes back for miles. It's already full. Oh, we gotta do that. I said, these people are coming in from prisons and jails. Nobody listens to me. They're murderers, they're drug dealers. If you take a look at Venezuela as an example, their crime is down 72%. Because they've taken their criminals from Caracas, they've taken their drug dealers, they're emptying their prisons into our country. Their crime is down all over the world, crime is down. In the Congo, in Africa, 22 people deposited into our country. Where do you come from, the Congo? Where in the Congo? Jail. What did you do? We will not say that. You can imagine. Listen, they come from Africa, they come from the Middle East, countries that are not friends of ours. And they're coming by the millions, And these fools, these fools are letting them come into our country, destroy our country. And I said, did you ever see that? I don't want to brag, but they do have a big stomach hat. You know what it says? Trump was right about everything, right? Countries, I would be doing better than them at getting the people out. You run a country, the country's inundated with really tough people that are criminals. I want to get them the hell out. If I was the head of a country, the president of a country, if I was in charge of anything having to do with the country, I would have moved them out even faster than they're doing. They are moving people into our country at numbers that nobody's ever seen. And those countries are becoming safe countries. And wait till you see what's going to happen. They're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated. They're getting used to a society that really goes too far. And the only thing they go after is guys like Trump because he protests an election. That's the only thing they're good at going after. They don't go after criminals. They don't go after people that kill people. They don't go after drug dealers that kill on average 500 people during their lifetime. So a drug dealer kills 500 people. And the only thing they would understand would be the death penalty. If you had the death penalty for drug dealers, you wouldn't have people. Like Steve Woodruff, great developer in New York. But they don't do this for a living. The only thing they understand, I went to China as a President Xi, had a good relationship until COVID came and then I broke it off. That was too much. But I said to him, and I had a great relationship with him, and I will again probably. But I said, do you have a drug problem? 1.4 billion people. No, we have a drug problem. Why don't you have a drug problem? Because we have the death penalty for drug dealers. If they sell drugs, they die, he said. So those people that sell drugs, they said, let's go to another country. This is a little bit tough. But they do it in many other countries. In countries where you have that, you don't have a drug problem. And we are becoming a drug infestation, whether you like it or not. We're becoming a drug infestation. So we better get our act together. Years ago, centuries ago, China was taken over numerous times by smaller nations, much smaller nations, because they were all drugged out from the opium fields and all of that. And then one of their very powerful leaders said no war, and they ended it. And we're going to have to end it too, because we're really a country that we're a failing nation in a lot of ways. What they've done to our country is incredible. What is Kamala, who's a total lightweight. Did you see her on television last night? This is going to be the president. This is going to be the president of our country. I don't think so. Sitting propped up at a desk with this guy, this tampon Tim. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And if you're too weak to do a one-on-one interview with a person that was so soft, I know Dana, she's always, always nasty. She was so nice to the Democrats. It's much easier to be a Democrat, but we don't agree with their policies because their policies will destroy our nation. So we can't do that. We can't do that. But it was a very weak interview from the standpoint of CNN. I think CNN should be ashamed of themselves. If that were me, sir, I heard you want the death penalty for drug dealers. Why? Well, I'd like to end the drug epidemic, if that's okay. Remember this, and I said it. Every drug dealer on average kills 500 people. That's not mentioning all the families that are destroyed forever. Yep. They're destroyed forever. And we have to do something about it because we are becoming, and we are, a drug-infested nation. We have to do something. And if you did that meaningfully, you will in 1 week stop the drug problem. Nobody's going to solve it. We lost probably 350,000 people last year to drugs, to fentanyl and other drugs. And President Xi was going to put that on their ultimate crime list. That's where they give the death penalty. They make it in China, they sell it here. Who's going to give the death penalty? When we had a rigged election, what happened is they never picked it up. Biden never picked it up, so they never did it. But they were going to give the death penalty, which is their ultimate punishment. You can't get too much more ultimate than that. They were going to give the death penalty to the fentanyl makers in China if they make it and sell it in here. And they were going to do it because, otherwise we weren't going to do trade. Little things like, we won't trade with you anymore. We won't pay you billions of dollars anymore. But people like Kamala, she let San Francisco die. She destroyed probably the greatest city, maybe one of the greatest cities, but it could be. A friend of mine, Bob Tish, used to say years ago, he said San Francisco is the greatest city in America. That was probably 1670. He passed away, great guy, he passed away, but he used to talk about San Francisco all the time. Today, you can't walk into San Francisco. She destroyed it. She's the one that started it. She was the district attorney, then she destroyed California along with Gavin Newsom. But the fake news is doing everything possible, everything they can to help Kamala Harris. You ever notice nobody knows what her last name is? I go, okay, I'm going to give you the first name, tell me the last name. I say, Kamala. They have no idea who the hell she is. But as they find out, you notice our poll numbers are starting to skyrocket. When they find out that she's a Marxist, when they find out her father, is a Marxist professor, that. When they find out that she was the one that destroyed California and San Francisco a long time ago, you can't do this. Look, we have to put our country back into shape. Somebody said women don't like Donald Trump. I said, I think that's wrong. I think I spoke to the husbands one time and I say, how do you put up with this? Your husbands, your wives are traveling all over the place. You want them? We trust our wives, we trust them implicitly. I said, well, you have great wives. Let me say that they travel, I think it's like 228, something like that. But it is beautiful to have you here. We love to have you here. Always perfectly plump. You're always perfectly plump. They're beautiful. They're great women. Great women. We appreciate that, Danielle. We appreciate you guys being here. You were here in Butler. They were there in Butler. I remember they were standing there in the front row Joes. They get here like 3 days early. They wait around for 3 days, 4 days. They probably got to know some of my guys by now. I would think they don't have to be quite so anxious. They're going to be, they've done a great job. And then we have Mr. Wall. Irving Wall. Would you please stand up? Irving Wall. But he's been to many shows. How many shows? He's lost track. I agree, but I appreciate it. We appreciate it. The whole place appreciates it. That ultimately their patriots is not about me. These are incredible patriots. These ladies are incredible patriots. So, but to show you how bad the fake news is, some of the Gold Star families, you probably read this over the last couple of days. A lot of people say, sure, don't hit down on them, the fake news. Don't hit down, support information. I said, should I mention it? Don't hit down. Well, maybe became so I always like to mention it. Because if you don't mention it, our supporters don't really know what to believe, and they sort of believe this stuff. So the Gold Star families and incredible people. And I got to know them because 13 families who were, as you know, lost a loved one in Afghanistan. So needlessly, because we have an incompetent president and vice president, grossly incompetent, and we have millions of incompetent generals that should have been fired immediately. Not one person was fired over Afghanistan. And by the way, Russia saw that, they went into Ukraine. Because they said, I had no idea that the United States was so stupid. So, and when I was running that, I spoke to the leader of the Taliban. They run the whole deal. And I said, Abdul, don't even think. Because they were shooting, they were killing our people. And they were really killing them previously, Obama. They were killing willing him into the wrong administration with Biden. But how did he do in the debate? Everyone said, "Sir, what did you do, you shit?" I said, "How good was I tonight, sir? You probably got him thrown out. Now you're gonna have to run against somebody." And I said, "I don't care. I have to do what I have to do. We have to do it." But what happened with Afghanistan, you know, I do believe. You know what the weave is? I'm talking about things that they all come back, bring it together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors are saying, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? You ramble. It's not rambling. What you do is you get off the subject, mention another little tidbit, and you get back on the subject, and you go through this, and you do it for 2 hours, and you don't even mispronounce one word. And they say, you know, 100,000 people, you know, New Jersey, we got 107,000 people that have, like what it's always saying, but in Wildwood, New Jersey, they announced 107,000 people. And then they say, well, look at this, I mean, if you gave me a big arena, you would have said 45,000 people or something. But it is rather brilliant, but they say, Randall, but in Afghanistan. So what happens is you take the wonderful families and they come in, and we're in Washington. They said, would it be possible, sir, would it be at all possible for you to come, because we're celebrating a child's life. The child was buried because of Joe Biden and Comrade Harris. Would it be at all possible, sir, for you to be there? And I said, yeah, it's going to be real tough. I was really like far away, and sometimes it's tough. But I said, you know what, we have to do it. And I got my team and I said, let's go. We're going to Arlington Cemetery. They would say death certificates of their child. They said, sir, would you sign it? Please sign it. We refuse to accept his name on this death certificate. They said he killed our child, and honestly, the incompetence killed their children. The incompetence gross. And by the way, they lost almost 500 people that day, including the other side. They left Americans behind. They're still there. Nobody knows even what happened to them. Think of this. They left $85 billion worth of brand new military equipment that I bought, because I rebuilt the entire military. $85 billion worth of equipment behind. They left everything, and they moved the military first. Instead of last, you say, you stupid people, you take the military out last. For 18 months, and a lot of you know this, for 18 months, not one American, after I spoke to Abdul, the leader of the Taliban, not one person was shot. We didn't lose one person for 18 months. In fact, Joe Biden got up on television one day, and he said, for 18 months, not one person was shot during the Trump administration. Then the people started screaming at him, you stupid, don't say that. You are so stupid, they tell him. But I appreciate that they said that. But it's true. For 18 months, nobody was lost, and nobody would have been lost, and we were getting out. I had it down to 5,000 people. But we were in Keep Bogger, which is the big airplane. It's one of the biggest in the world, and the biggest runways, the most powerful runways, 8 foot deep. You could land anything on those runways. Not because of Afghanistan. We were keeping Bogger for a different reason. 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. Yeah. So I got a call from people. Sir, we're going to be going to Arlington to honor our children who were killed, and they were devastated. People had them over Bedminster, and they didn't think I'd see them. And they said, do you think we'll see him? And I said, well, we don't know. We'll try and I ended up spending 4 hours late at night listening to music with all of the relatives of the people that were killed. So we need this. We were looking at the sky, beautiful place, we were looking at the sky,
Elvis, we're listening to Elton John, we're listening to everybody. I said, look, your son is looking down at you. It was, the whole thing was beautiful. You get to know, they didn't think I'd see them, but at most I would spend 15 minutes, and I ended up spending many hours. So I got to know, so they called up and they said, do you think you could be there, sir? And I said, I'll try if I can. And we really had to turn things around. Anyway, I got there. And we had a ceremony, we had a changing of the guard, we had a beautiful ceremony. And then they said, sir, could you come to the graves? Could you come to the graves? After the ceremony, they said, could you come to the graves? Would that be possible? I said, no. I get this big stadium chuckles me. I said, but I'm going to, because those people are the love of our lives. But the various people that we're talking about, depending on who it is, with the various people, they say it to me, I'll say it to you, I don't think they can ever be the same. I said, is it better now? Because it's 3 years, is it better? No, it's not better. You know, the expression, time heals all wounds. But I said, is that expression true? No, sir. Maybe it's worse. It's devastating. These people are just so devastated. So we're there, and they said prayer, different graves, one here, one there. And they said to me, you know, I'm not surprised, I never even thought about, sure, would it be possible for you to have a picture with us by the tombstone of my son, you know, the beautiful white tombstone, marble, beautiful, beautiful things, and carved and engraved with the names on them. I said, absolutely. And we said, I don't need publicity. I would like to get a lot less publicity. I would pay to get, I'm the only guy who would hire a public relations agent to get less publicity. Always hired to get publicity. So I was taking pictures of the grave, one with the sister, and then the mother, and then the father coming in, and then another group at a different grave. And it was so beautiful. We left, and everything was nice. And then later on that day, I heard that we were using the graves of those soldiers for public relations purposes, you know? And that was all put out by the White House. Joe Biden killed those young people because he was a cop. And then you tell me that I used their graves for public relations purposes. And I'll tell you what, there was a disgrace. And she was involved. Remember, she said she was the last person in the room, right, when they made the decision. And pulling out was okay, but not pulling out like a bunch of incompetent fools. And that's what they did. We had them in such a great position. But when I took those pictures, it was so beautiful. They were crying. Everybody was crying. They were talking about 3 years ago, because of a grossly incompetent group of generals. And we had great generals. Don't forget, we defeated ISIS entirely with great generals, real generals, not these television morons that you see all the time. But when I saw that, I said, I think I have to talk about it. Now my people said, don't concern. But if I don't tell you this story, you're going to read it. It was front page of the Washington Post, which has lost approximately 57% of their readers over the last 3 years. It was a story in the New York Times, which is losing reader after reader. I'm happy about it. I have to be happy, because they truly are the enemy of the people. They are the enemy of the people. They tell false stories about me. That's all they do, is they write false stories. They're incapable. I can do the greatest things. Anything. I ran for office, and they were covering it viciously. But it was front page every day, and then I won. Everybody. And I have a story on page 17. So I won then, and my story was on page 17. But I was always at page 1 where I made a little speech or something. It's that's what they call the fake news media. It's desperately trying to hide Kamala's family is an extremism from the public. They don't want the people to know how unfit she is to serve. She's unfit to serve. Everything she touches, she ruins. Just to finish this, I love those people. I'm so happy they took pictures of me and them and the tombstone and their lovely son or daughter. There was a daughter too, and an incredible daughter, frankly. I've almost gotten to know them, even though I never met them. I know everything about them. The mother would walk up and say, "Sir, may I tell you about my boy? You know, he was a football player, and he could throw the ball so far. He played quarterback, sir. And one day," and I realized that she's telling me a story and crying about her son who's now in the grave because of Biden and Kamala. And I listened to that whole story, how the ball was caught, how the ball was thrown, how the team did, the season the team had, and I let her talk. And then these people accused me of doing this for public relations reasons, and the fact that and you know, they actually came to my defense. It's nice, and sometimes that doesn't happen too. But they really did. They said that we asked him to be here, and we want him to be there always. And I just think that's great. And we love you all. Because this is, you know, she's anti-fracking, she's anti-everything, this Pennsylvania. And I said, do me a favor, make a little reel of Kamala Harris. There's no right being here. She got no votes. She ran. She was one of 22 people that ran. She was the first one to quit. She never made it to Iowa in the primaries, the first state. She was nasty to Biden. She called him a racist and everything else. You know, she probably called me a racist. So, in a week from now, we can have. I haven't told you that today very much. Memorize a little bit, not a lot, but she memorized a little story about a girl taking a bus. And she used it on Biden. And so when Biden picked her, I was shocked because nobody treated him so badly as her. But let's take a look at the real Kamala Harris.
We need to get radical about what we're doing and take it seriously. As President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster. There's no question I'm a fit for Democrat. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. I believe in totally eliminating private insurance. That's one thing all of them. But would you support changing the dietary guidelines? Yes. 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 With respect to the system. Yes. Raise your hand if your government plan went through our average current government and immigrants. This whole movement is about wisely planned. We need to take a look at these budgets. Harris is certain that ISIS per se does a modern-day Ku Klux Klan. Are you aware that there's a conception? Are you aware that there's a conception?
Ice in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking? I see what you're
I'm not.
asking. No.
We need to get radical about what we're doing.
That's her. And now she's changed everything. In fact, I think she is going to soon apply for an application for joining MAGA. That's her. Now she can't do anything about it because that's what she is. With a politician, when they come out with something, that's where they end up, and she will destroy the great Commonwealth. Just remember that. And we should win or blow out. We should blow out. You know, we win the states, we win all of them.
2016 we did great, but 2020 we did much better. General. Since Kamala and the media don't want to talk about her radical heart review.
What's happening? Everybody's clapping and getting excited.
That's beautiful. It's all right.
They can take it.
That's okay. Now he's on the side. We get a bit of that itchy kid that we have. No, he's on our side. And I'm showing at Butler. An amazing thing happened. You had two American flags very far apart, held up, I think, by different cranes. They were very big flags, beautiful flags that they were waving. And as that horrible event was taking place, the wind blew the flags together and they formed a perfect angel. I don't know if we have it. I'll tell you, a lot of things happen. If we haven't put it up, if we don't have it, that's all right. Our people went after him. He's on our side. Thank you very much. It's very nice. I've never seen banners so beautiful. You know, he's on our side. I mean, the problem is if he was on our side, you know, we can have 35, 40,000 people trying to get in. And if one person stands up and says, I don't want to be Trump, it becomes a headline. Major problem, sir. No, but he is on our side. Thank you very much. It's nice. And then 4 years, Kamala Harris has overseen a nation-working border division, flooding our communities with 20 or 21 million, and it could be much more than that. And don't listen to 15 and 16. You're way gone. Those days are gone. 20 million illegal aliens from 158 different countries on Japan. Friday afternoon, Steve is here, David's here, all my friends are here. We have the best system in the world. But all my friends are here, and let's just take our time and have a good time. What's that? She can super hit with a long girl. Harris lost. Listen to these numbers up. Seriously, if this were a Republican, it'd be straighten them up. Now listen to this number because you have to understand what it means. 325,000 children have been lost. They've been allowed to be trafficked all across our borders. She flew in illegal aliens by the hundreds of thousands, and many of these were young children. But we have no idea we're thinking the number. 325,000 children are missing. Many are dead. Many are involved in sex operations. Many are working as slaves in different parts of probably this country and probably many others. But she was the border czar. Now she says I wasn't the border czar.
Oh yeah, I remember that
She
one.
was, it was headlines, border czar, border czar. But now she doesn't want that term. But whether she was the border czar or not, she was in charge of the border. 325,000 children are missing. She created a fast pass entry program to speed the admission of illegals into all of our ports of entry. And remember when they said, no, we're oh, now they have a new line. We created a small border. No.
They keep saying it over and over, the worst order in history. But they think if they keep saying it over and over, most people aren't like us. They're not now, they drive a cab, they're carpenters, they're electricians, they're accountants, they're not like into it other than they like Trump. They like, meaning they like our policies, because it's not about me. This is not about me. I had a message, you can ask my friend, I had the greatest life. I could go to the most beautiful places with the most beautiful oceans in the world. Instead, here we are, and I'm happy as hell to be with you. We're saving our country. I wonder if this is like that. We're saving our country. Our country needs saving. We're a failing nation. In case you have any questions, we're sadly failing nation, and we're going to make America great again. It's very simple. So we're a failing nation. We're going to make America great, and I think we have a chance to make America greater than ever before. And remember this: if we don't do it this way, you're never going to have another November 5th is the single most important day in the history of our country. I believe that with all my heart. And Kamala Harris, mass amnesty and citizenship to all of the millions of illegals that she let in, which will obliterate Medicare and obliterate your Social Security for seniors. You will not have any Social Security, and you're not going to have Medicare. The whole country is going bad. And no country, no matter who it was, no matter which country it was, no country could withstand this onslaught. No country could withstand this. And a lot of these people, remember, these are rough people. Right. The only thing good about it is they make our gangs and they make our bad ones look like nice people like the guys. We have bad ones too, but compared to the people that are coming into our country, our criminals are very, very nice. These are really tough ones. They come from prisons. Remember that many of them come from prisons, and they let them out of the prisons. Why should they keep them when the suits of the United States will take care of this situation? Remember that. And this is what you're voting on. By the way, at the end of September, much before November 5th. I always use the term November 5th, but I'm talking about, because today we vote 2 months early. We vote after early. Nobody knows what the hell we're doing. The elections are so screwed up. We have to get back in. We have to change the law. We want to go to paper ballots. We want to go to same-day voting. The United States is Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter. My wife went to the funeral of Rosalind's beautiful funeral like 8 months ago, and I looked at Jimmy. Jimmy's old, but he's happy. You know why? Because his administration is considered brilliant compared to this administration. Call for the abolishing of ICE. Great patriots, tough as hell. Some of my friends are still ready. Some of the toughest human beings I've ever met. They're not tough enough to be honest. They won't do it. These guys, you see a pack of MS-13 thugs that love knives. They love cutting people up better than guns because it's more painful. They killed 2 young girls in Long Island not so long ago. 16 years old, they were walking to school. They cut them up into pieces. They cut them up into pieces. They will go into a pack of MS-13 killers, or ice guns. And for 2 minutes, you see nothing but fists and legs and fighting. A lot of the people like these young ladies from North Carolina, they're not into that. I don't know. They don't want to hear about that. They don't like to hear about people being cut up. They don't like to hear about MS-13. Have you ever seen MS-13? Typically, when you have tic-tac-toe boards on your forehead, it's not a good thing, right? They would go into these places, and they would start fighting, and at the end of 2-3 minutes, it's over, and they would stand up and they'd take these thugs into paddy wagons and they'd bring them the hell out of our country. And they'd get them out. And